So the price of crude oil jumping up to over $100 a barrel as Israel continues to hammer Iranian oil depots. But the White House is arguing that prices are being driven up by fear, not a lack of supply. Rich Edson is live at the White House with the details. Good morning, Rich.
Hey, good morning, Lawrence. Also, oil and gas prices are up as Iran is blocking a large percentage of global shipments to the Strait of Hormuz. But take a look at what gas prices are doing here in the United States. You're at about $3.47 a gallon now. That's up 50 cents from a week ago. A year ago, Americans were paying on average $3.09. Oil prices are at their highest level since 2022, following Russia's unprovoked invasion of Ukraine. Now, here's the issue. Iran is effectively blocking the Strait of Hormuz. That's where about a fifth of the world's natural gas and crude oil transits. The administration says it is working to get tankers moving through the strait again soon. Iran has also struck oil infrastructure in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait, pushing oil prices up further. President Trump posted, quote, short-term oil prices, which will drop rapidly when the destruction of the Iran nuclear threat is over, is a very small price to pay for USA and world safety and peace. Only fools would think it differently, President Trump. Energy Secretary Chris Wright also contends these spikes will be short-lived.
Energy markets are massively well supplied right now. In fact, the run-up in prices has nothing to do with any shortage of barrels of oil or natural gas. It's just fear and perception, the unknown, that this could be some long, drawn-out crisis, but it won't be. This is a disruption on the way to a much better place to end a 47-year war against America.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is urging the administration to tap the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. That's something Republicans criticized back in 2022 when President Biden did it after the invasion of Ukraine and just ahead of the 2022 midterms. Lawrence?
Yeah, we could really use those reserves. All right, thanks, Rich. Let's bring in the host of Making Money on Fox Business, Charles Payne. Let's put up the national average so people can see what they're paying at the pump. Compared to last week, it was $2.98. Today is at $3.47, and a year ago it was $3.09. So when will they see some relief at the pump?
I think the big move in oil will come when the Strait is open. Rich alluded to the Strait of Hormuz, and I think that's a 1-2 punch. The administration is working on. Right now, this is about insurance, believe it or not. This is not about Iran controlling anything. This is about Lloyd's of London pulling insurance and 7 smaller insurance companies following their lead, which is, it's kind of crazy. But it opens the door for us to have insurance as a backstop and have we have two, we have the Ford, the Gerald Ford and another carrier group out there. So I say in about a week, we'll be able to control that. When you start seeing ships go through the strait, you're going to see oil prices come down precipitously. In the meantime, to your point, there are a lot of options, potential options for the White House. Some people talked about price controls, which would be absolutely nuts. Some have talked about, export controls for us. That would just be a minor thing. And then the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Now, here's the problem with that. You could release 200 million barrels, which would be about 10 days of Middle East oil for us, and the price will come down. In fact, G7 nations, Japan and others, also talking about releasing 400 million for temporary relief. But we don't have an oil problem. And I think that, Secretary Wright was trying to explain that. This is all speculation. This is all, you can almost argue, manipulation. This is what they call geopolitical risk. There's no formula for it. It could be an extra $10, it could be an extra $20, it could be an extra $30. So when you have a move like that, that's not based on fundamentals per se, it could be parabolic, which it is, through the roof. But when parabolic moves like that die down, they usually come down just as fast.
So I guess my big question is short because, a lot of people predicted that the tariffs would hurt the economy.
Right.
You were one of the ones that said, actually, this is going to be good for America. Looking at the war where we're at right now, was this the right call from the president, or do you think there's going to be some risk going in the midterms?
Well, there's always political risk, which is why things like this never get done, right? You have people who want to win elections instead of keeping America safe. This is 1,000% the right move with respect to where Iran was, to the threat to the rest of the world, and to the timing of it. I don't think a lot of folks understand how interconnected our world is. The Greenland move, Panama, Venezuela, all of these things are incredibly important as we move into the next century. and we want to stay the preeminent nation in the world. So remember, oil was $82 when Trump took office. It was $50 when this began. That downward move will resume once this is resolved.
Copy that. If you want more insight, watch Making Money weekdays, 2 p.m. Thank you, brother.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.